Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Giselle and I review fragrances. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. And if you're new here, welcome, and I hope you enjoy my video and you consider subscribing. That way you will help me grow my channel. So today I want to talk about what I think are the best rose fragrances in the market. I have curated a list of 10 fragrances. Actually, I could have added more, but I didn't want to make this video extra long, so I have narrowed it down to 10 fragrances. And if you are interested, stay tuned. Let's cut through the chase and start with Black Rose Oud by Trish McEvoy. So this fragrance has been launched in 2011. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's opulent, it's rich, it's velvety, it's elegant, it's mysterious, it's dark, it's sexy. Wow, what a fragrance. Oud is pretty prominent here, so if you love roses but you don't like oud, maybe this is not for you. But if you like the rose oud combos, this is amazing, and it really smells more expensive than what it is. It's beautiful. It has raspberry leaf, actually. It has osmanthus, it has saffron. It's a very nice fragrance. It has papyrus, it also has orchid. It's slightly different from the typical oud rose combos, but still you get that combination, which I like it. I don't love it, but I like it, and I know it's a popular combo since centuries and people love it. So it's a really great fragrance, and I highly recommend it. So the second one is Nirvana Rose by Elizabeth and James. Elizabeth and James is the fragrance line by the Olsen twins. They launched this beauty in 2016. This is a very rich, full-bodied rose fragrance. It's amazing. It's delicious. It's very stylish, very sophisticated, very urban as well. It's not like an airy rose like Jo Malone red roses, for example. This is herbal, this is fresh, spicy, it's very earthy. It's rose on steroids without oud. So if you like roses and you don't like oud, or you don't like the combo, this is amazing. It's a stunning fragrance. It has geranium, it has vetiver, but what makes this fragrance unique actually is the type of rose they use here. So the rose they use here is May rose, or also called centifolia rose, because the flower has 100 petals, and it's a very special rose because it's actually, for the most part, it's cultivated and harvested in Grasse, which is in the French Riviera. It's the world capital of perfumery. And actually this rose only blooms 3 to 4 weeks a year, which happens to be in the month of May. That's where the name May rose comes from. And it's a very delicate rose, and the pickers have to wake up really early in the morning to pick it up, and they only can harvest the roses that have bloomed that day before 9 a.m. So it has a science behind because it's really hard, because otherwise if they pick it up later, or if they don't pick them up the same day they were bloomed, they can actually use the rose. And yeah, it's almost like a waste. Years ago they had, I think in Grasse they have like a 700 acres plantation. Nowadays they only have 50 because this rose is very delicate, and also the yield is very low, which makes this type of flower very hard to work with when it comes to, large scale. So the fact that in a mainstream fragrance they included this type of rose, wow, it deserves some credit. So kudos for Elizabeth and James. This is, wow, it's an amazing fragrance. Honestly, in the mainstream category, I think this is the best in the market. And this video is not sponsored. This is just my subjective opinion on everything. But I have to tell you, I think if a brand deserves some kudos and extra credits, I'm all about it. And this fragrance is amazing. It's one of my favorite roses in my collection. So in third place, we have Hippie Rose by Heeley. Guys, this is in no particular order, okay? So Hippie Rose, I talked about this fragrance before. This is a boho chic rose. It's an amazing fragrance. It's not your typical rose fragrance. So I can say that even if you are not a big fan of roses, you can still like this. It's very wearable, it's very versatile, although I think it's perfect for daytime. But this is sheer, it's transparent. It's not like your jammy, your velvety rose, your decadent rose, or your rosy rose. This is your boho chic rose. This is amazing. It's a chypre floral, so chypre florals, chypre fragrances have patchouli, labdanum, and bergamot in the composition. But this is it's a very fizzy fragrance, very flirty. I can even imagine a young teenager using this. It's very, very flirty. It's not really sexy, it's not a sensual fragrance, but it's more flirty, it's youthful, it's playful, it's super, super fizzy, as I said. It's very, very long lasting. It's amazing. It's a really, really nice fragrance. It's more like a tea rose. This is more like, or the rose water you use in pastries, for example. It's not decadent, it's not thick. As I said, it's more bubbly, it's more fizzy, it's more airy, but still it has a lot of depth. Projection is average, but sillage is amazing, and lasting power, wow, for the category it belongs to, I think it's really strong. It's actually another Perfume, but when you sniff this, it's like a little bit, you can't really believe it has such a strong staying power, if it makes sense, because it's too sheer, too transparent, too pure, but it does have a great staying power. So I highly recommend this one. It's a very different type of fragrance, different rose. If you want to try something different, if you are into trying different things, try this one. Let me introduce you Sophistication in a Bottle. I'm talking about Rose Poetique by Manos Gerakinis. Manos Gerakinis Perfumes, it's a niche perfume house from Greece. They make absolutely stunning fragrances with the best raw materials. Everything is super high quality. It took almost a year to develop this one because their previous rose version was among the top 5 best rose fragrances in the entire world. So it was a challenge to develop this formula, and boy, did they do it. It's really, really beautiful. It's an amazing fragrance. It's fizzy, it's flirty, it's very playful, it's very long lasting. As I said, it's Sophistication in a Bottle. It has damask rose, it has patchouli, it has sandalwood, it has vanilla, it has raspberry. It's slightly fruity when you sniff it. It's beautiful. I think this is the most beautiful rose fragrance I have. This one and Nirvana Rose are my most beautiful rose fragrances in my collection. It was hard to pick some, but this is like out of this world. It's actually a 10 ml decant, but I'm planning on buying a full bottle. Believe it or not, I'm not a big fan of roses, and that's why when I buy something first, especially this one, which is on the higher end price-wise, I prefer to buy always a decant. This was a 10 ml, and I'm more than happy. I'm really planning on buying a full bottle. It's absolutely sophisticated. It has damask rose. The damask rose or Damascene rose, it's different from the main rose in terms of smell. This is slightly sweet. I think maybe it's not as sweet as the other one, but still it's slightly sweet. It is very powdery. Actually, the damask rose is used in perfumery when companies want to create an ultra super feminine fragrance. So that is the epitome of femininity. And this is what this fragrance has, and this is what it smells. It's 100% a feminine fragrance. I don't think this is unisex. You can use whatever you want, whatever brings joy to your life. But if you ask me my opinion, this is very super, super feminine. It's delicious. This is Luxe in a bottle, I tell you. I can't wait to have the full bottle. So now we come here with Velvet Rose and Oud by Jo Malone. My favorite from Jo Malone. This is a really, really nice rose. This is super velvety. Of course, the name couldn't have been better. It's super, super velvety. Again, we have a rose wood combo. And it's not as strong as here. The wood is not as strong as in Trish McEvoy, but still it's strong, so you can definitely smell the wood. And I tell you this because, as I said before, you might like the rose but not the wood. But this is amazing. It's a very rich, velvety, well-rounded fragrance, slightly gourmand because it has praline in the composition. It has lactonic notes as well. As I mentioned before, be careful with the praline, because I know that many people get very angry, very upset when they blind buy, especially now that we can't try fragrances in the department stores. people are blind buying, including myself. And I've heard people complaining because they bought something they thought it was something chocolatey, for example, and they couldn't pick the chocolate, they said. And the thing is that praline is not chocolate. I explained this before in one of my previous videos. Praline is actually nuts that are caramelized with sugar and grind and mixed together, and that base is used as a filling to chocolate candy, like in the Belgian or in the French industry, chocolate industry. So if you have tried Belgian chocolate or French chocolate or even Swiss chocolate, you know what I am talking about. Praline is not chocolate. It's related to chocolate. It's the feeling of many chocolates, but it's nutty. It's not chocolatey. If it makes sense, I hope it does. So what we have here is not chocolate. So don't look for a gourmand rose. What we have here, it's praline. It definitely has a slight subtle gourmand note, a gourmand hint, but it's not that chocolatey type of fragrance that I know what people are looking for, because it's delicious, but it's not what they will find here. Okay, it's very, very nice. It's creamy and velvety, as I said, very beautiful. Yeah, it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's not syrupy either. I think this is a fragrance worth trying because it might be very different from what you think it is. Velvet Rose Oud by Jo Malone. And this is pretty long lasting. I can tell you in hours. Actually, I don't remember if I tried for how many hours. Of course, I've been wearing this, but I can't remember how many hours it lasts. But it's definitely way longer lasting than their traditional line. Now, guys, I want to talk about a fragrance I don't have, but I'm planning on buying a full bottle, which is Rose Atlantic by DS and Durga. So DS and Durga, it's a famous niche perfume house. I love Rose Atlantic, and when I smell this fragrance, I needed to share this with you. If you are like me, that you're always like in the hunt of new things, I like to find new things. I don't want, like, there's a point when many fragrances smell the same, right? So when I find something different that I like, count on me, I will definitely share that with you. I love it. This is very, very different. It's a totally different rose. This is a beachy rose scent without being tropical. It's salty, it's green, it has oak moss, so it has that dewy feeling that I love, that Dior has and Hippie Rose has, but they are totally different fragrances. They have the same vibe, but they are different. This can be definitely unisex. It has a couple notes that I really liked it. I felt very, very excited when I heard about that, because these are not notes that you typically find in rose fragrances, which are the linden blossom and the sea salt. It's salty. This fragrance is salty. It's marine. It's aquatic. It's ozonic. Oh wow! It has bergamot. It's green. I can't wait until I get my full bottle and I'll do a full review for you, because I think it's a fragrance that it's worth tapping in. And as I previously said, this is like a beachy fragrance, and I want to explain what I mean, because it's a beachy fragrance without being tropical, which sounds weird, but it is like that, because you don't have your coconut there, you don't have your frangipani, you don't have your TR flower, your tuberose, you don't have that typical creamy lactonic white flower vibe, or even the suntan lotion type of smell or vibes. Nothing like that. This is quite the opposite. It's not sweet. This is mineral. This is salty. This is green. But still, when you smell this, you will be reminded of the beach. This is like soaking a white rose in a super ice cold sparkling water. If you can picture that, this is pretty much what this smells. It's worth, at least it's worth trying. I'm super tired today, I'm sorry. So guys, Rose Atlantic by DS and Durga, and again, as soon as I get it, I'll do a full review. Here we have Oud Bouquet. What can I say that hasn't been said already, right? But this is my favorite in the Lancome line, this niche line that Lancome has. It's absolutely beautiful. It's sweet, it's syrupy. It's not overly gourmand, but still it's slightly, or not even slightly, it's a sweet fragrance. It's a rose wood combo again, but this is different because this is sticky, this is syrupy, this is sweet. It's beautiful. It has guaiac wood in the composition, and the guaiac wood can make the fragrance sweet and slightly balsamic, which is exactly what this is, at least to my nose. This is sweet. It's sweet to the nose, if it makes sense, but it's not the type of sweetness that will make you, you know, want to eat a dessert, for example. It's sweet. It's sweet, but it's not like a Barbie sweet, like the Barbie type of fragrances, not like Aquolina or stuff like that. This is very sticky. It has vanilla. It's addictive. It's very, very luxurious. It's very well blended and it's linear. So it will stay like this. What you first spray on is what you will get for the entire time it remains on your skin. It really is a beast in all the departments. Projection, sillage, staying power, and the scent itself. It's really very, very, very beautiful. I love it. It's my favorite, as I said, in the Lancome line, Oud Bouquet. So now I'm going to talk about another fragrance that unfortunately I don't have, but probably in the future, which is Rose de Grasse by AERIN. AERIN is the granddaughter of Estee Lauder. They made amazing, amazing fragrances. They use very high quality ingredients. The fragrances are not cheap, but they are, I think they are really fair priced for the quality. I think they are niche quality, at least to my nose. And Rose de Grasse has been inspired by the famous Maison rose that I talked about before in the city of Grasse in the south of France. It's an amazing fragrance. It's very versatile. You can wear this all year round, day and night. It's perfect for a bride, it's perfect for a teenager, and it's perfect for your grandma. So it's a super beautiful fragrance. It's very rosy. It's a rosy rose, very feminine, ultra feminine. It's the type of fragrance I would use when I don't know what to wear. You know, those days when you are in a hurry, you don't know what to wear, but you still want to look put together and elegant. So this is what I would wear. It's chic, it's sophisticated, it's elegant, it's classy. It will never disappoint. It's such a beautiful fragrance. And yeah, I can't wait to get a full bottle of that and do a full review. But I highly recommend you this one if you are a rose fragrance lover, because it's very, very beautiful. I wouldn't say it's very unique, like, you know, Rose Atlantic or Hippie Rose. It's not unique, it's not groundbreaking, but it's very, very beautiful. And if you like roses, you will love this one. So now, guys, I want to talk about Rose Oud. Mind you, this is not the Royal Rose Oud, which has a lot of negative reviews. This is Rose Oud. I think this has been discontinued, but it's beautiful. If you can still get a bottle online, go for it, because it's beautiful. This is your pinky rose. This is a pinky rose. It's perfect for night outs. It's very loud. It's bright. It's sharp. It's fruity. I think I can smell strawberries here, or maybe raspberry, but it's more like strawberry. It's kind of sweet. It has Gaia good, and it has white chocolate. The white chocolate here doesn't give the fragrance a gourmand hint. It's more like for creaminess, for depth. There's no way you can identify the white chocolate here, and I love white chocolate, but you can really pick it. However, it gives the fragrance a lot of creaminess. It's also a very rosy rose. It's very smooth, it's very silky. Actually, according to the house, this has been created for those women who dream of the 1001 nights, but on the other hand, for women who have their feet on the floor. So it's a very romantic, poetic type of describing this fragrance. But this is what McEvoy says about this one. And it's very, very, very romantic. I don't know why, but there's something here super, super romantic. It's as I said before as well, it's like a pink rose. Probably that's why they put here the pink Swarovski crystals. But this is the type of rose I can picture when I smell this. It's a pink rose. This is not your velvety rose. This is not your decadent rose or the jammy rose. This is a pink rose, a bright pink sharp rose. Beautiful fragrance, very feminine, perfect for nighttime, especially in the summer. I think this is more like this will perform better in spring, summer, but still you can pull this off all year round. But yeah, it will definitely perform better in the warmer months, because it's very fizzy, and usually those fizzy fragrances, those fresh, spicy, fizzy fragrances perform better, in my opinion, in the warmer months. But again, this is Rose Oud, not the Royal Rose Oud, by McEvoy. So in last place, we have Rose Noir by byredo. This is such a beautiful rose. Let me spray it. This is like a lemony, earthy rose. It's also very different from the typical rose. This is more similar to the Rose Atlantic or Hippie Rose or even Gradior. This is mossy, this is green. It has a typical byredo DNA where you can recognize that, yeah, byredo's vibes. It's like clean, it's crisp, it's like white and pure and sheer, but it's deep and it has character at the same time. This is one of the most beautiful roses out there. It has cardamom, it has freesia. Beautiful. It has grapefruit as well. It's like a fruit salad, but it has also lily of the valley. It has jasmine. However, the rose is the most prominent, no doubt. It has a lot of fruits. It's a fruity rose, but it's a clean and crisp fruity rose, but with lots of depth, if it makes sense. I hope it does. It's very fruity, perfect for daytime. It's very dewy. Again, it's mossy. Beautiful. I think this is totally underrated. I never hear anyone talking about this, and it's beautiful. I get compliments all the time about Rose Noir, and people seem to love it. I love it. Staying power, it's great. And I know people complain about some byredo fragrances. I don't know, on my skin, they last good 6 hours. And for me, 6 hours is perfectly fine. And yeah, Rose Noir by byredo. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you enjoyed my curated list of 10 rose fragrances, what I consider the best rose fragrances. If you liked my video, please consider subscribing and giving me thumbs up. That way I'll be able to grow my channel. And thank you so much for watching. If you make it till the end, kudos for you. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.